You're watching an RH Reality Check production brought to you by rhrealitycheck.org.
The data that just came out in January of 2009, we were 10th highest teen birth rate in the nation. We were 7th back in 2006, but we had a 3% increase. And despite that increase, we didn't do better, but there were some new states that joined the lower rankings that bumped us up. It has a lot to do with trying to raise young children to have a lot of confidence, a lot of awareness and self-awareness about their bodies, having the efficacy to really negotiate social relationships when they reach adolescent stage, and so that they are making good choices for their health, for the health of their friends, and so it's a complex issue. It's not just a formula. It's not like a vaccine. In Georgia, first of all, we have the second highest repeat teen birth rate in the nation. And so it absolutely is essential to us getting to our goal. 1 out of every 4 young women who has a baby will have her second baby before age 20 in Georgia. And that is so connected to the larger context of this issue around education, poverty, employability, strong families. And so to me, it's really, really a cornerstone of our prevention effort here in Georgia. Why would she become pregnant a second time? Very often the condition that led to the first one hasn't changed. From a data point, yes, African Americans' rates are higher, but although Latino rates are the highest in the nation and in Georgia, the Latino population has the highest rate. But when we think of that, it's too easy for us to say, well, if we just deal with them, the problem would go away. The fact is that Georgia has had these high teen birth rates in the nation long before the influx of Latino immigrants. So it gets back to some of the systemic issues as a state that we have with persistent poverty, issues with poor high school achievement overall, regardless of race, and the issues with having a disproportionate share of that poverty being experienced with African Americans and Latino immigrants. So it's combined. I don't think it serves us well to try to find that one group. If we would just deal with them, we'd affect the rates. It doesn't work out that way. White kids are having sex just like African American kids. What happens is kids who have more resources have a way to manage the consequences of their behavior better than kids who are poor. They don't have the options to seek the support of physicians, healthcare, parents who have a means to help you through it. The reality is the highest teen pregnancy rates in our country were in the 50s, right? It wasn't in the public debate because you had shotgun weddings and shotgun marriages. And so families were dealing with it within family systems. And then the 80s hit, and you had all kinds of things that sort of dislocated families in terms of fracturing family units and creating a population of young people who didn't have family support, were in poverty or close to it, and having children who ended up in the public sphere of support. And so all this language about, why would anyone do it? Adolescent behavior hasn't really changed. What's changed is the context of that behavior. So the facts are that the majority of young people, by the time they're high school seniors, are sexually active. 2/3 of them are. And if you can't teach what it means to manage your body and your reproductive health, then of course we're going to have the persistence of not just pregnancy, but STI rates are out the roof here in Georgia. There is sort of this ideological intimidation that's been allowed to occur over the past decade, that you have to be on that side of this issue in order to get your constituents to vote for you. The moral calling is, what do we need to do as a community of adults to have the best experience environment we can have for all young people to thrive successfully? That's the moral calling. It's not abstinence only. It's what works. The moral calling is what works.